Dr. Vic here, and I wanted to share with you a very valuable lesson I learned just about a week ago. In my office, you always will hear me talk about stress as the cause of all things. It's the three T's, it's the three types of stress: the physical, the chemical, the mental, emotional. I always talk about those things, and going through the process, some people always say, well, you're always energetic, you're this, nothing ever affects you. And it's like, guys, last week gave you an example to show you how human I am. But also on that take, it also gave me an opportunity to really reflect and look at my life and see how my stressors in my life were affecting me. For those of you who know, my back went out to worst I've ever experienced last week. It was so bad that I actually had to cancel going into the office the first time ever in almost 6 years. It was that severe to where I had to say, you know what, time out. I pushed myself way too much, and I need to take time back to take care of me. I need to take time back to really look at my life and see what have I been doing to myself, all this stress that's been affecting me, and how do I create a comeback so I can handle that stress, clear it out, make sure it doesn't crystallize, make sure it doesn't create that stress pattern, that subluxation pattern in my body, so then I can make sure that I am functioning at my best. And so when I was going through this whole reflection, I did a workout a week ago where I could have aggravated my back but didn't know it. I woke up that Wednesday morning, strained my back getting out of bed really quick. That could have done it. But guess what, guys? We always look at life and say, oh my God, this is what it was. But we always hear the question of like, oh, I've done that so many times. Why now? What made this happen? And the thing is, you got to really look at it and say, you know what? If you've done it a lot, usually it's a buildup over time. And if this was my threshold, the last thing my body could handle before it says, I'm done, that's it. If I was right there, waking up out of bed, put me over the edge. And my body said, we're done. And that symptom to me was having my back go up. To other people, it could be getting sick. To other people, it can have headaches. To other people, it could be digestive issues, reproductive, hormone issues. It can be a whole array of things. Children, we see that as ADHD, ADD. We see it as autism, a sensory integration disorder. We see that as XYZ. And you've heard me talk about XYZ before. But the whole process is, how did I build up to that? And I want to share with you guys something called the rule of twos. This rule of twos is, it's just an idea that I've learned through my experiences, through my coaches' experiences, that we talk about that if you ever have something show up in present time, let's say your back went out, you have digestive issues coming on, you're getting sick, things like that. With the real cause, it all started either 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, or 2 months ago. It's not a guaranteed scientific, yes, that's what it is, but it's kind of a ballpark, something that you can remember in your head. And when I thought about that again, I was like, man, 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago. And I looked at my life and I'm like, you know what, where did stress happen? Because, we think of the physical. Oh my God, I'm sitting too long at work and my posture's not right, so that's it. And we always look at the physical. Well, I had a car accident, or I was working out improperly, or, doing those things. But the key component to all of that is that physical stress is only one element to it. The other two are chemical stress and mental emotional stress. Now, when you have too much stress, more than your body's ability to adapt to, guys, it's going to cause havoc on it. It's going to cause subluxations. And so when you have these subluxations, it's starting to break down the body little at a time. And if you continue to have your stress levels this high and your body can only handle this, it's going to be only a matter of time before your body says, I'm done. I'm out. Can't handle it no more. You've taken me far over the edge. So for me, that was my experience. But guess what, guys? The rules of two, it was actually 3.5 months, almost 4 months ago, to where it actually started for me. And that process, physically, chemically, mental, emotionally, little cheats here and there on my diet when it came to Thanksgiving and having pies and eating sugar, which I don't normally eat a lot of sugar at all. And doing those things constantly were bombarding me with stress over and over. But guess what? I started getting adjusted more because I knew that my stress levels were way too high for my body to handle. Then I started to go and meditate every single day. I started to change my diet strictly to almost slim to no sugar whatsoever. And I really started focusing on me and getting me back into balance, because guess what? I was too much in the gas pedal mode. I was too much driving myself into stress mode. And that's the gas pedal mode. And I was revving my body up, and it was just constantly go, 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 never taking time to relax, rest, digest, and heal. And even though I amped up my care, what ended up happening is eventually I started coming down. My nervous system calmed. I started putting on the brake pedal system, rest, digest, growth, healing, development. And as that came down, what ended up happening is now my body said, hey, this is what you've done. You were exhausted. We're finally able to take a break and go, oh, I'm done here. I need to relax. And so I went to put that little extra stress, and there it went. So the valuable lesson I'm trying to put together here is that, number one, the rules of two. If anything ever shows up in your care process and what you're having done, always know it happened 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, or 2 months ago. The second thing to remember is know that it's stress. Because here's the thing, guys. Science has proven that all our health-related issues are from stress. And guess what? Stress comes in 3 forms: physical, chemical, mental, emotional. Or, as we talk about it, the 3 T's: thoughts, toxins, and traumas. Same thing. But the thing is, those are the stressors that cause the havoc on your body, which eventually bring up X, Y, and Z. So when you have that coming up, the first thing I want you to think about is, hey, what's going on in my body? Where have I been getting stressed? And if you don't feel like you have, that's okay. But always know the rule of thumb is stress causes everything in our life. So if you have a stressful situation over time, you thought, I'm doing good now, and then all of a sudden things come up, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. If you're really stressed and you've been stressed for a little bit and then things show up, you get sick and things like that, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. And you kind of get the pattern here, guys. And the same thing, look at the physical stresses, but also look at the chemical of what you're eating and drinking, and look at the mental, emotional. See where you're at with your work, with your family, with your relationships, with your children, with your parents, work, co-workers, the whole 9 yards. Even relationship with me, So look at those things, because, guys, those are the things that are going to get you to that state. So I wanted to share that with you because it was very valuable to me. And you're going to hear me talking about that all throughout the end of this year, because really, as I learned and grew from that process and really honed in, I went through an experience, and that's the best way to learn things. And when I went through that experience, I realized, holy cow, 3 T's, kicking my butt, and I didn't pay attention to it as much. I did jump on board. I'm happy I did when I did in November to take care of myself a little bit more, because I don't know how it would have been and how severe or how much more worse I would have been if I didn't do that. So I want you guys to think about that. This is a great time to have this conversation, because guess what? Holiday season's here and everybody is under stress. For some odd reason, even if I see people who say they're not stressed at all, and then comes January, February, we do their scans, and it's like, it's like you ever see that picture with a cat and its hair all over the place? And it's like, are you stressed? Or I'm stressed out. And that's the kind of visual I want to give you, because that's what we see in the nerve scans. So know that when you're having things show up, the 3 T's, it's going to be the thoughts, toxins, and traumas, physical, chemical, mental, emotional stresses that are going to cause you to have whatever may show up, the X, Y, and Z. And know that it took 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months to show up. So I want to thank you guys. I'm back. I'm all taped up, literally. And want to share that valuable lesson with you, and also to wish you and your family a happy holidays. Make sure you check out that video below. That's our little happy holidays from the Wellness Path staff and team, just to give you a little holiday joy. And I want to wish you a memorable time this year, and just thank you for choosing us as your wellness provider. Thanks for choosing me as your chiropractor. It's truly an honor, and you truly entrust me in my vision to continue moving forward to help shift the consciousness of healthcare in this world. So thank you so much, guys. Happy holidays, and I'll see you soon.